Thanks for joining us for another Tantrum House crowdfunding conniption. Today we'll be taking a look at the new game 10 Plagues, the card game from Peace and Love Games.
Now, as always, we want to make you aware that our crowdfunded videos are sponsored in part by our own Kickstarter backers, as well as by the creators of this game. Welcome to Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows, and in this episode we're taking a look at the new card game 10 Plagues. It's from designers Shalomi Ben-Naim and Melissa Johnson with art from Lizzie Sivitz.
This is a 2 to 4 player hand management game where players are trying to use their hand of cards to fulfill the specific goals that are set out in front of them while surviving the 10 plagues of Egypt. Now we're only going to be taking a look at how it's played, and we're going to show you the art and what it looks like on the table, but we aren't going to be sharing any opinions in this video. We want to help you make an informed backer decision, though, when it comes to checking it out and becoming a backer on Kickstarter.
Let's jump in.
To set up the game, you'll build a pyramid by stacking the 10 plagues in order face down at the top.
Then you'll shuffle and reveal 5 goal cards, and finally you'll place the goal deck, draw deck, and discard tomb.
Then you'll deal each player 10 cards, and you're ready to begin.
On their turn, players will first draw a card and then discard a card from their hand. If they're able to fulfill any of the goals on the table, they can play their cards to the tomb and collect the goal for victory points at the end of the game.
They then draw back up to their hand limit of 10 and play continues.
Anytime a player completes one of the goals, a new plague is revealed.
Each of these thematic events affects all of the players. Lice will have players sharing one of their cards with the player on the left and their right, while Death of the Firstborn will have you discarding your highest card.
Once all of the plagues have been revealed, the endgame is triggered.
The Exodus card is shuffled into the remaining draw deck, and players discard one card, having a new hand limit of 9.
Then play continues until the card is revealed. The game immediately ends, and the player with the most points from their completed goals wins.
The 10 Plagues is a family weight card game where players will be drawing and discarding cards in hopes of building up a hand of cards that will allow them to fulfill some of the many goals that are in the game.
Yes, so the deck of cards is set up. There's 1 through 10 of each of the 10 plague cards. So you'll have a hand of 10 cards, and you will trying to be curating that hand by drawing. Now you can draw either from the draw pile or by the top card of the discard pile, and some of those cards will have things like you need 3 of the same number or a run of 5 numbers, all from different plagues.
And it's going to take you a little bit of time to collect some of those. A couple of the goals are pretty tough ones where it's like have 1 of every different suit of card in the game. You will not really have the opportunity to trade or anything. However, when those plagues do happen, sometimes those will have you swapping cards with other players, and depending on who those players are, you might even be able to get them to kind of help you out with the cards that they pass your way.
Also, when those plagues happen, you kind of pause where you are in play so that you have the event happen. Pretty much all of them are not that great. The plagues weren't a great thing to endure, but they do allow you to get new cards into your hand. So a lot of times you'll have to trash a bunch of cards or a certain type of card, but then you are allowed to draw back up. So sometimes if you weren't even close to some of those goals, it can be a benefit.
The end game will be triggered once players have finished that final plague. Then they will shuffle the Exodus card into the remaining cards in the deck, and then you'll continue to play until that card is revealed.
Yeah. There are also a couple other times in the game where that tomb starts getting really full and you think, I'm not going to have any more cards. Well, usually by that time, the plague cards will have a way to kind of reshuffle the deck because you're going to start running out of certain types of cards. So that Exodus card will be shuffled back in at the draw area, and then once that is revealed the second time, the game will end.
Correct. So if you're interested in checking out their campaign, you can find it on Kickstarter here, coming really soon. It'll be interesting to see. This is prototype art. I think we mentioned that. So we don't know what the actual final game will look like or what tweaks may come, but you can find all that on their campaign page for sure. And then as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in, following along, and liking our videos here at Tantrum House.